for Valleyfair. I think I probably emailed all of you today. And I also handle our social media, so I think some of you are also on our socials and comment all your enthusiastic comments. And so it's great to meet you all in person. This is the off season, so things are a little rough around the edges. You get that awesome backstage look at everything that's going on as we bring this park to life. And so we're thrilled to have you here. Do note, and I'm sure you might have been told, that there might be cars whizzing around here. There might be trucks. There might be some construction stuff happening. So that's just part of the fun about being in the park when we are closed. So just watch out for that. Don't get run over. All right. Our itinerary for the day. I'm going to go ahead and tell you a little bit about what is new for 2024. And then we are going to bring up, and actually Tom Suel, as well as here, excuse me, he's our director of maintenance, and he's going to talk a little bit about some of the fun, awesome things that have been happening in this park, rebuilds and everything, that particular detail. So we're really, really pleased to have him here. He's in charge of it all. Then we're going to have lunch at Renegade Smokehouse. The sign is not up yet, but you'll find out that that's the old stadium grill. We have given it a great facelift and of course are turning it into a smokehouse concept. We'll do a park tour with our amazing maintenance team. They're all in the back. They are experts about all things ride mechanics, so get all those nerdy questions out. They are here for that. Then we're going to come back here. We're going to do a trivia game for some great prize, and then we're also going to do the raffle. And of course, you probably saw we've got 2 new Nano coasters. If you saw them in Plaza Shopper, one is of course a carb scape, but the other one, of course, is Excalibur. We're really excited about that. Hashtags. If you're doing any social sharing today, which we certainly encourage, go ahead and take your photos, take videos, do whatever you like, and use those hashtags. Of course, we are Valleyfair MN for our handles. All right, so. What's new at Valleyfair? Of course, we have Valley Scare is back. Woo! And you all are to thank for that, I will say. We are very, very pleased to bring back this fan favorite event. And of course, we have some really cool new things going on with it. So we have a brand new, all new maze. And this slide has a little bit of a hint of what some of the theme might be. We'll be announcing the name of that as well as the actual theme of it in June. So, but if you guys can kind of read into it, I think you can read it from back there what that sign says. But Berserkers is getting a little bit of a facelift with Valkyrie's Vengeance. It's going to be a little bit of a new storyline. It's going to be some new animatronics. Blood on the Boundary Waters used to be a scare zone, and it is now going to be a new maze experience. We're very excited about that. Undertakers is back because it's an amazing maze. Same thing with Mr. Cleaver's Bloodshed, and Chateau is getting a new storyline. And then, of course, we have Scare Zones, your favorite. Get those little jump scares in. We've got a new Slider Zone. We have a new one called Toxicity. And Carnival is turning into a scare zone called Midway of Mayhem. And of course, we have entertainment happening throughout the park because that is what Cedar Fair does best. And we're going to have 4 stages filled with lots of entertainment, lots of shows, and of course a whole F&B complement to this event. So that's what we have. That's, of course, the biggest news that we have going on. Are you guys excited about it coming back?
Yeah!
And we have tricks and treats still for the little ones. All right, merchandise and games. So we have a whole new 2024 Peanuts program with our merchandise. We're very excited about that. You'll see some window dressing around the park and when we go on our park tours for that. We also have a brand new partner with Soda Clothing. Are you guys familiar with Soda? They have cool stuff. So we're creating a whole new branded Valleyfair Soda collaboration. That'll be really exciting to see those pieces come out. And of course, we have the 2 new Nano coasters. I hope you guys all get them. We've got a great little collection now of 4 Nano coaster scapes. So, and then as far as park operations, just a couple of little things. We have a new mobile app. I don't know if you guys have all downloaded it yet, but we have some great new features with it. We have the digital wallet. You have everything in there, including your past perks. And an interactive map and show schedule. So similar things that we know and love from the previous app, we have in this app, plus a little bit better functionality. And then Past Perks has gotten a facelift. One of the criticisms that we have had and that our Past Perks team has rectified is, what are the perks that you're getting? What is it that you're working toward? So now it's a lot more clear. More visits equal better rewards. And you can redeem them right in the app. So it's a lot more intuitive, it's a lot more streamlined, and we hope you guys like it a lot better. I mean, you guys come to the park a lot, so I have a feeling a lot of you will be getting some great perks by the end of the season. And then we have some great new accessibility portions of the park. We have the all-new park passport that'll get you into every Cedar Fair park. And moving forward, we also have a brand new show called Summer Smash Up. That is going to be a high-energy dance song extravaganza. One of our awesome choreographers here at the park is putting this together. She's fabulous, so I know it's going to be a fabulous show. We have Corn Fest coming back for year 2. We have Tricks and Treats coming back for year 3, and of course, your favorite Valley Scare is back. Let's talk about food and beverage. Do you guys love the food here? Yeah, I love it too, but I am really, really excited about what is coming up. So, we have a brand new chef. His name is Josh Slaughter. You're going to meet him today. You're going to taste some of his delicious food and what he's bringing. And he's a delight. He will certainly talk to all of you if you want to talk to him. Lucky Loon Kitchen is brand new. So that is taking over what used to be the landing place, and so which was more of like a private event space. That's now going to be a brand new scratch kitchen. It's going to have seasonal food and vegetables and lots of kind of the more healthy options. You can see here that menu is going to rotate throughout the season as well. So that'll be really exciting. If you come at the beginning of the season, it might be completely different a month later. We also have boathouse refreshments. I'm gonna go back to that. New and enclosed. In other words, it's no more bees. It's a bee-free location. See, we listen. So that is gonna be near the wave, so you can look for it there. We have Superior Funnel Cake Company. That is going in where Chicken Shack is. And so that's going to be a whole, if you liked extreme desserts, that's going to be a very similar complement to that. And you can see here, of course, the feature will be funnel cakes. And it will be a whole variety of delicious flavors of funnel cakes. And Renegade Smokehouse. Are we excited about that one? I am too. Oh, let's see here. Apparently, our presentation is very excited for it too. Okay, so that will have chopped barbecue beef, barbecue pork, chicken tenders, turkey legs, lots of things, and that will have actually a mobile ordering system. So when you sit down at a table, it's the thing where you scan on the table and then food is brought out to you. So you can get in, get your seating, and then order your food, okay? We hope you like that system a lot better. Northwoods Grill is turning into Northwoods Pizzeria, so that's gonna be a pizza concept. And we're expanding alcohol in the park. So you can get your favorite beverages in more locations. We're doing a lot more, I would say, within the water park area. You'll notice at Snack Shack, we're going to have icy frozen cocktails, which is new to our park. And lots of other packaged products at your food locations of choice. We have a couple of charitable events. I know I'm whipping through fast, but you know that we partner with a Kid Again. That's actually at the Cedar Fair level and at our local park level. We welcome about 800 children and their families who are facing life-threatening illnesses to our park to give them a free day of fun at Valleyfair so they can take a time out from illness. And then we also have a new partner with Gold Together, the American Cancer Society's focus on childhood cancer. They're going to be doing a fundraiser at our park. You'll probably be seeing a lot of information about that as we get closer to August. And because you all might know, I was out at Dorney, and I got to ride Iron Menace, and so, I'm sorry, I know. But it's a really cool ride. Raul really wanted me to kind of show you guys a little bit about my trip there. It is a great drop coaster. Dorney is considered our sister complement park. They have a similar ride to yeah, I get scared on the roller coaster, in case you can't tell. After that, I'm like, I love this! So yeah, it's a great dive coaster. You sort of fly like a few loops as you go through. If you are ever out in Pennsylvania or the East Coast, I do highly recommend getting out to Dorney. It's a cool park. Yes, it has a new coaster, but it has so much more than that. So yeah, highly recommend. Okay, that's probably enough. All right, hey. Okay, we're going to welcome up to the stage Tom Suel. Come on up, Mr. Tom. And Tom has been with the park since before it opened, since its first season. He is a font of knowledge. You can ask this man any question and he's going to know all about our history. So, with all due respect, Tom.
Well, thank you very much. My name is Tom Suel. I'm the Director of Maintenance and Construction here at Valleyfair. I started here back in 1976 as a seasonal employee, working the games area for a couple of years, then an opportunity to move into maintenance, and just kind of grew with it, and just really enjoyed it. People ask me, why do you stay here this long and all that? But there's so much variety when you're, that technology has changed so much over the years that where else can you get so much fun every day? Huh? So and that's primarily why I've always enjoyed the working stuff. There's a lot of challenges, but so now I'm just going to go through some rebuilds that we do. Just discuss this a little bit. This is our balloon race.
We were on that.
Periodically, sometimes the manufacturers have recommendations on rebuilds, how far you have to tear them down. Sometimes they don't. And if that's the case, a lot of times we'll put this on our own cycle. So generally 5 years is an average for rides that come all the way down. But this allows us to get in and do a full inspection on the internal workings of these components of the ride. So same thing with the Linus launcher is there's a lot of stuff inside these towers and stuff that you have sometimes limited access to, so that's what negates we have to tear them all the way down. You can see by the pictures there on the upper right how there's not a whole lot left of that ride once we tear it down to this extent. So this is always a fun one, the Ferris wheel. Chance built this ride when the park opened back in '76. This is the only ride like this that they ever built because at the time, being a family park, they wanted to get families in this Ferris wheel. So you can fit 6 adults in these gondolas. So, but downside of this thing is we tear this thing down completely every 10 years. There was a thing where you could do a 5-year inspection on it, but it just doesn't matter. So what we have to do with this ride, we have to tear it down, and every 10 years, the center axle that supports it, we replace it. So to do that, you have to put it down onto the ground. So it's pretty labor intensive, but at the same time when it's down, we usually do a repaint, rewire it, put the lights on it, or whatever else, because it's a good opportunity to get a lot of this stuff done. Here's our high roller. This is one coach. We bring these trains in every year. They get a full tear down like this. And if you look at the frame it's sitting on, what we've done with most of our coasters is we have built rotisseries for these so that coach got ahead of me. It allows us to rotate these coaches, and from a labor standpoint, it's just an incredible savings because you have such good access to different parts. The underside, a lot of parks take car and you have to flip it manually on its side to work on it, flip it back. It can be dangerous and all that. So we have built stands like this for all of our coasters. The wild thing, we have a frame that we can rotate that chassis on, everything. So what we're doing here on this one is, the cycle changed a little bit, but basically between 5 and 7 years we have to build new wooden chassis for this. This is all white oak. And we're going through, we did a couple last year, and this year, I don't know, I think we did 5 chassis this year, but we built from the ground up a whole new wood chassis for this. And in the past early years, they just take the old chassis, they'd measure the holes for all the bolts and all the mounts, and well, we've got we've got jigs now that we've had laid out, so everything's the same. When we build these, we have this metal jig. It's the size of the chassis. Well, there's hundreds of holes for mounting them here. So now everything is consistent. So we've gone to a lot of trouble to make this stuff consistent, but it pays dividends. So here again is this is a Renegade chassis on here. When we bring these trains in, we bring one train in at a time just because of shop space and limitations. So we'll put the entire train on a rotisserie like this. So again, it's just so easy to tear the lap bar assemblies down. We strip all axles out. Most manufacturers have a recommendation. You have to do like a 10% non-destructive testing on the axles and shafts. Well, it's pretty hard to track 10% of axles, so you don't keep retesting the same one in the following year. So we've always adopted 100% policy. So we test all the shafts, all the chassis. We just do 100%, and it's peace of mind to a point, but you know what you have then. So that's another one with the chassis up there. This is when they're getting either going back together or coming apart. That's how they come in and strip them. So that's it. So.
He's so cute. I was thinking that.
Thank you. Yes, he and his team do so much to make sure that you guys are safe on our rides and are just able to just enjoy and have a great time. So now is the time to bring up Raul Rehnborg. He is our Vice President and General Manager of Valleyfair. Prior to Valleyfair, he was at California's Great America, and prior to that at Knott's Berry Farm. How many years have you been with Cedar Fair now?
Got me on the spot. 37 years.
37 years, that sounds right. I was like 37 or 36. So I'm going to toss it over to him. We have, let's see, we've got a couple of microphones here that we're going to bring down into the audience. And if you have a question, go ahead and raise your hand, and then one of us will bring a microphone over to you, okay?
There you go, sir. I appreciate you guys being here. Like you said, I've been in 37 years. You mentioned some of the bigger parks I've worked at. Actually got to work at some other parks. I got to work at Schlitterbahn for the summer of 2020 when Valleyfair did not get to open because of COVID. I have a passion for the amusement park industry just like you guys do, and I can trace my roots back to 1987 as a sweeper at Knott's Berry Farm when my mom told me it was time for me to get a job when I was 17 years old. It was supposed to be a summer job, and as you can see, I'm still here. And it's been a great experience for me. My wife is in the back. I brought her today. She also has a passion for the industry, and when I was 19 years old, I met her. She is a ride operator. She had been operating some of the biggest attractions at Knott's Berry Farm. So it's just in our blood. But at any rate, I'm glad to be here. I'm excited that you guys have a continued interest. I will say you guys are a tenacious bunch of people. Valley Scare is coming back. We heard you guys loud and clear. I imagine you'll work on your next topic to constantly bang on us. So, at any rate, yeah, we're excited, and Valley Scare is going to have some really new enhancements. We're obviously not going to show all of our cards right now, but I think you guys are going to be blown away by what you see. The new maze. This is really going to be a world-class attraction. And if you guys are really perceptive, you could probably tell where that new maze is going to be by what was not listed on that slide as a returning maze. Did you guys see that? No? Oh, all right. Then I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to look at someone who videotaped and see where our new maze is. So, all right. I'm ready for my first question. Yes?
New coaster?
Wow, I didn't see that coming. So I'll just say this. It's a matter of when. It's not a matter of if. And you can see that Cedar Fair has put in a lot of capital the last few years. We mentioned last year Worlds of Fun got a major coaster. How many of you guys got to ride that coaster down there? Yeah, and then of course Dorney just premiered their coaster, and so you notice that the small and medium-sized parks of Cedar Fair are getting some love. There's some excitement coming. I told you guys last year, for the people who were last year, we are working on setting up the infrastructure. I don't want to make the mistake of adding a major coaster and not being prepared for it. I want it to be a good experience for everybody, and so I will just say, Valleyfair, good things are happening. How many of you guys know when our 40-year anniversary anniversary is coming up, or I'm sorry, 50-year anniversary. Yeah, 2020. So there's going to be big things happening at this park at our anniversary and beyond. I don't want you guys to think that it's just about the coaster. Man, there's a lot of things happening. You got to see Valley Scare coming back. How many of you guys heard of Hockey Day 2025? January, right? You guys are hockey fans. This is the state of Minnesota. So we are hosting Hockey Day in January 2025. So we're working on that event. There's a lot of good things happening here, and I'm excited about that. So, but thank you for the question. I didn't see that coming. Yes.
So we recently saw that Raging Rapids in the water park was removed. Would you mind speaking to that a little bit? Just give us an update on it.
Yeah. So this is part of preparing for things in the future. I will tell you that Raging Rapids was a custom design build. And so that was initially put in, and it had pretty much reached its end of life. And so we had to decide what we want to do over there. Was it worth basically essentially reprofiling and completely rebuilding that attraction from scratch? Or was there potential opportunity of repurposing that land in a different way? And so you guys have noticed that that is not on the map this year. That attraction has been retired. But again, everything we do is calculated, and so there are things that are going to be happening here, and I'm excited to see what transpires at the water park as well. Yes.
As former GM of California's Great America, with that park closing and rides potentially getting relocated around Cedar Fair, are there any rides that you do not want to skip down?
I have personal, intimate knowledge of the rides at Great America, and so first of all, Great America is near and dear to my heart. But if you ask me which are the most, how about I answer this way? What are my favorite rides at Great America? Oh my gosh, there are a bunch of them. The B&M inverted flight deck used to be Top Gun. Was actually only the second ride of that class that B&M had created. So I love that ride. Gold Striker. I've always been a huge fan of wooden coasters. It started when I was at Knott's Berry Farm with Ghost Rider, and then Gold Striker was kind of the next evolution of that. Renegade was kind of our version of that. So yeah, you're correct that if and when Great America's assets become available to our company, it is up to the company on how those assets are utilized, dispersed, relocated, retired. I have told my COO that I feel that I have special privileges, having put in 9 years at Great America. We'll see if that helps me or not. And they've got a great collection of rides. It's a great park. How many people have been to Great America here? How many people have ridden Gold Striker? Great ride, right? No. Great ride. So anyways, thank you for the question.
Renegade's white.
Yes.
Mine's a two-part question. The first is I think I saw last fall that Cedar Rapids bought out or merged with Six Flags. Is that true?
Yeah, so we announced last fall that Cedar Fair and Six Flags had entered into an agreement to essentially be a merger of equals. That is in the process right now. There is several hurdles that need to happen before it is finalized. One of those was that it had to be voted by the Six Flags shareholders. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that was overwhelmingly approved by the Six Flags shareholders. So the only other step that's really necessary is the federal regulations. Anytime you have a merger of companies this size in the industry, that's something that the federal government reviews. And once that review is complete, and if the merger becomes finalized, I think that unlocks an incredible amount of additional opportunity for both sides. Think about a company that can take advantage of the best practices of Cedar Fair and the best practices of Six Flags. You really have a great super company that would be able to take advantage of all of the knowledge and expertise and synergies of operations. So yeah, I'm excited about those possibilities. It's funny, we got a great team at Valleyfair. I have a director of maintenance who's been here since 1976. My director of operations came from the Six Flags company. He was at Six Flags over Georgia. We have our director of food who came from Cedar Point. And so we've just got an incredible collection of really smart talent, and to being able to tap into the resources and different perspectives of those people and where they came from gives us a lot of insight and knowledge about how we want to approach this site. So I'm excited about that.
That's awesome. I'm a Six Flags baby. I grew up on Six Flags, so I moved here, so I get Cedar Rapids. But the second part of my question, it may not, I guess, be talked about yet, would be if they merge, or since they are merging, will they become a part of like the passport pass eventually? Is that going to be a plan?
So there are people smarter than me working on the opportunities, but it would stand to reason that having some kind of passport that provides you access to Six Flags parks and Cedar Fair parks would be almost a no-brainer, whether it happens on a national basis or regional basis or on a statewide basis. I have no idea, but I think that's one of the examples of how we can use those different companies to create higher value and higher opportunity for both sides. Yes.
So, sort of tagging on to your question. Will the name Valleyfair stay after the merger?
Of course. One of the things that Cedar Fair is recognized is that we are a house of brands. And so, you know, the Six Flags company has great worldwide name recognition. Our company will be known as a Six Flags company. That will be the name of the merged company if the merger is approved. But each of the Cedar Fair parks will retain their name. So we will be Valleyfair now, tomorrow, the next day, and the next year. We're excited about that. We've got a rich history here. You know, our park is incorporated in the name of Cedar Fair. So, you know, we pay a lot of homage to our name and our brand. How am I doing on time, Melissa?
3 minutes.
3 minutes. Yes?
Two-part question. What's going in here?
What is going in Galaxy Theater?
Yeah.
So this is a great asset. It's kind of been dark the last couple of years, and our entertainment department has been looking at what can we put in here that will revitalize. I think Haunt is obviously an opportunity, particularly because sometimes during, Valley Scare, it gets a little chilly outside. So I don't have anything to tell you definitively what's going to happen, but this facility will stay. I think it needs a little bit of refurbishment, although they did a great job of how it looks today. But it's an asset that we want to continue using in the future.
Okay, second part.
Yeah.
Are you bringing any like entertainment like a Johnny Holmes or something like that here?
Like who?
Johnny Holmes or local bands or something?
Oh, for sure. So the event strategy has always been to do events that actually are meaningful to Valleyfair. That's why we brought back Cornfest, because there was some history here. The other part of that is bringing in entertainment that resonates locally. And so if you look at Cornfest, the far majority of the bands were local bands. And as we approach events, we want to make sure that we are able to get bands that actually have some local followings in addition to just ambient entertainment in the park. So I appreciate that. That's very validating of that strategy, and that's something that we're committed to. Yes? Oh, that's a good question. He said, do we have bias when we think about new rides? Well, it's the combination of so many things, right? When we do surveys with our guests, they tell us where we are lacking, where we need a little bit more of emphasis. I have a feeling this group might be a little biased towards coasters. I don't know. That may or may not be the case. But we know we've got some holes to fill, and we've got some incredible opportunities. So market research, what is happening in our market? What is going to allow us to differentiate ourselves from our competitors? Where do we have under programming, whether it's children's area or water park or family rides or coasters? So it's not so much a bias, it's just making sure that we establish good priorities. So that's a great question. One more question. Oh man, that's too hard for me to... 2 more questions, okay. Oh, Monster Jam coming back. Oh, that was a great ride, but that was, or not a great. Well, did you guys go on the ride, first of all? That was amazing. No, Monster Jam, we don't have plans currently to bring it back, but that was one of the unique events that I want to do more kind of unique events. Even if they're for limited time engagement, I think it gives value to our guests and our pass holders. And so that was a great event. And we still hear people talk about Monster Jam. Just like we used to hear people say, bring back Valley Scare, but I will not hear that anymore.
Hey.
Well, one more question, right? Yes. Tom, will Renegade be getting a retrack? I think the answer is it gets retracked sectionally every year. Is that correct?
That is correct.
That is correct. So that is constant. We bring in third-party experts and we do accelerometer check the G-forces, and so every year our guys go out there and retrack portions of Renegade. Sometimes you will see subtle differences. I have a feeling that that gentleman is probably the expert on how the retrack goes. We actually asked Renegade Mike, okay, how's the ride this year? Because he's the resident expert, so you know that's the deal. All right, guys, I appreciate you giving me the opportunity. I hope you guys have fun tonight. You guys are super important to Valleyfair, and we appreciate you guys.
All right, Raul, everybody. Awesome. Okay, everybody. So it is lunchtime.